We're live. Andy,
Yes, we are
good to
live.
see you again.
Good to see you again. I'm a little
Hello
bit
from
out
across
of
the Alps.
practice, here,
Yeah,
I
we're
have to
really,
say.
it's been 1 month since we actually did this live thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Give us some,
it was back in June.
give, give us a couple of things here.
Oh
Uh-huh.
yeah, there it
Yeah,
is.
there they are.
Yeah,
Yeah, how are you?
yeah, good. Sun is shining. Comments
That's
are rolling
good.
in. It
Comments are rolling in. You did foruming, you told me
we did
before.
we did some serious foruming at the end. Well, you were swimming, yeah. So
Yeah, I was swimming. I'm going to show you where actually. I just need to have a couple of slides opening here.
okay,
I was swimming and discussing, you know. So
yep.
let's see that. How does that look like? Screen face.
Oh,
Not
look at
bad, huh?
you. Yeah,
Look at that.
looks like a nice afternoon. It looks
That
in
that that was
as a
today.
view screen. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Good
blue
man.
screen. Yeah, it was in Lüschatz. It's at end of the lake or towards the
Yeah.
western side of the lake. And yeah, it was a nice day, I have to say.
Water was warm.
Perfectly warm.
Yep.
Not like in the Caribbean, like you like it, but it was good.
Okay.
How do
Yeah.
you get you back? I need you back here. Black magic
Yeah.
here. Here you are. Okay.
I'm back here. Yeah. So we got a few people here jumping in. We have Gaston, we have Arthur, we have Lee CC, we have Eric Nielsen and from Asheville, North Carolina.
Yeah.
And we have two here so far. So, and 23 people watching. So, hi, everybody. Thanks for joining. Thanks for the eventful week of foruming that we've been
Yeah.
having. It's been a long, it's been a lot of fun. It's been, I think for some of you, it's been, yeah, also exciting and obviously might feel a little bit challenging with some of the things that we brought up. But at the end of the day, our job is to try to make the best
Get
launch
the best out
possible.
of it.
Yeah.
That's the job. And it's not easy. You know, we all know that it takes a while. Does this chair go a little bit down? Oh, okay, sit like that. Okay.
But we can all hear it.
Yeah, that's good. No, I mean every product development is a challenge, you know, and the biggest challenge we have today in our world is that we have computers, and these computers actually allow to simulate stuff. And yes, we go the risk sometimes to say, okay, that's how we think it will look like. But when it comes to the metal, things change, and we need to adjust things. And my learning from all that is basically that we have to make it much more clear to the people that there can be deviations or there need to be adjustments along the way. We had this with the case, you know. I think this went well. Figured out the right thing to do, and we did the right thing, and the people understood it. Sometimes we get used to some certain look. I think that's the biggest challenge, that you're framing the people to some certain look and then say, look, I mean, reality is that that's not what we think or the experts think is the right way to go, and we should rethink that and talk to the people. And the good thing is, you know, democracy is a hard thing. It not always works perfectly fine, but pretty much it gives us a direction, and it gives us a way to make decisions, especially on these kind of things. So hands and rotors. I mean, you wrote
Yeah.
excellent texts, by the way. You did not only
Thanks.
do foruming. You are a writer, a really good writer, I have to say.
Thanks, Andy. Thanks.
Nothing to complain here.
It goes back to my editorial days and
Yeah. Back into the
and
Cayman
magazine.
editorial times.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Is yeah. There's some back history there, but yeah, I also had some help from Eric. You know, on the last one on the Rotor
Yeah.
post.
Yes.
Eric was a big help because he's an expert on going into like historical things and digging out the details there. I'm no historian,
Yeah,
but
no.
I
We are living in the here and the now.
we're in the here and the now. But I get to spend firsthand. I get to spend time with our engineers, and they fill me with all kinds of information that it would take me decades to dig out and figure out. And that's probably the reason why most watch companies can't make movements because they don't have access to those individuals.
Yeah.
And it's really lucky that I get to be, I always say every day is kind of like an episode
Learning.
of How's It Made.
Yeah,
it's
that's how it's made.
Yeah,
National
how's it
is
made?
it National Geographic? Mainly they or BBC or where is how is it made?
Yeah, I mean,
No, there's another one.
I'm from Canada.
Mega factories. I like mega factories.
There's mega factories, but in Canada, I don't know if it's a Canadian show, but there's actually a show called How's It Made.
Okay.
And they go through production and they show all the different
And
processes.
that's our job, to take the people on the journey and also tell them the pain when things don't go the way you want it to go, because metal, color, things like this are different in computers than they are in reality.
Yes,
and
exactly.
Yeah, so what are we talking about today? Let me go into the next slide here. The menu today. Yeah, the great hand debate. I like that.
Yeah.
We are going to great lengths with the hand debate.
Yeah.
Platinum rotors, yeah, not only for your exhaust pipe, but also for our precious watches. Next pre-order run. And what else going on? Tourbillon update, of course, like always. We are getting to finish line, already up front, we can say that. Machining, we are getting into machining heavily on all ends. More than unexpected things are happening. And the Zeitzentrum, yeah, we donated a couple of things, and we are working on communicating that to the public, yeah. And students seem to be happy with their new stuff, especially the teacher. Okay.
Let's get to the great hand debate. The elephant on the dial.
Yeah. So, discussion. Yeah, I think for the ones, pretty much everybody knows, I think, what's going on right now in our discussion is we originally got fooled by CGI, which made us believe that we can trick the superluminova into look like 021C orange. But superluminova decided not to follow our wish and never came out as we wanted, because it's this material which cannot be just painted like regular paint, and it has these grains. These grains actually store the energy, the light, and then they absorb it, and then they should release it when it's getting darker. And naturally, these kind of this material, this grain, has limits in their color capabilities. And the question now was very simple: what is the majority of the time you look at your watch? Very likely during daylight. So, do you want to have a not very nice looking orange, but shining at night, whereas you look for the majority of your lifetime on your watch during day? Obviously, the question is very simple. We probably should optimize for the day first. So that's where you look most of the time on your watch, and that's where you want to enjoy a nice color. I'm completely undecided, orange or red. You can give me both. I will wear both. I'm not that important to decide my life on red and orange, to make it very simple. I'm also undecided on if it should glow or not. Yeah.
Yep.
What's your decision?
My decision? I'm a little bit like you, Andy. I kind of go with the flow, and I have liked. I'm not a big orange fan personally. I like reds, and so when I saw that red, I like seeing that, and I thought it tied in well with the rubber strap as well.
Yeah.
But in the recent update that we've also provided with the luminous indicator on the seconds hand, I like that as well. And but at the end of the day, just personally, orange is not my color. I don't wear orange. I don't have orange pants. I don't have an orange car.
I had a brand with an orange logo. My bicycle company before, the logo in the beginning was actually orange, and that orange found its way into that Tissot watch, the orange one. Yeah. So that's why I'm kind of affected with 15 years of my life were kind of affected with orange, and I like it, but it's not. I can do both. For me, it's okay. Both is okay. So, shall I move the next slide? I mean, the votes are interesting, yeah, you know. I mean, during the period, you see things moving around. You see also different results in different areas of the world. At the end of the day, when you put everything together, it's a little bit 50-50, as far as I understand. So
Yeah, and
America
yeah, I
and
mean,
Asia, you know. Asia, I mean, there's no wonder, specifically in the Chinese-speaking world, red is of pretty significant importance historically. Everybody knows this who has to do with China and Chinese culture. That's why I would not wonder when red has is well received in the Asian speaking or Asian culture area. That can also get over to the American world because there are a lot of Asian people living in America, you know. So that's something which I was expecting. Orange has this kind of fascination for a lot of people because it pops. Yeah, sure. Question is, do you want to have something which pops? Nobody knows. Overall, I would say you can, as I said, you can buy all those watches in all color combinations because they are all good. It's really, we are talking about a very subtle, when it comes to these real colors, you know, not the Superlumino Nova stuff, to the real colors, it's a very subtle difference between, it's obvious, yes, it's two different colors, but it means to me both are very good. So, but what we learned is, and I have to say, we learned that already since our first debut. Do you call that in English also, or coming out?
the debut.
Debut, yeah.
Yeah.
In Kickstarter 2015, the first one, which was called Jonas K1. I still remember the discussion with my wife. You know, we have discussions also after work. When you're laying side by side in bed and there's some heavy discussion going forward sometimes. And I still remember that we did not put enough Superluminova into this first watch. It was, from a design standpoint, perfectly well, but consumer said that thing doesn't glow enough. And following the next watch, the Array, then we respected this, and obviously it was a success then, and we learned the lesson, and we had this discussion also. I mean, that's why we originally planned to try to make that orange, because we didn't want just paint it white. We planned to try to make that orange look good and glow, but that obviously didn't work out. So, having said that, we saw our forum with a significant amount of wishes on, can't you make that thing glow? And I learned lollipop today. You know,
Yeah.
in German, the German word is a little bit different.
Lucha.
The lucha, and when you re-translate that into English, that means a sucker. Am I right?
But you also call a lollipop a sucker as well. So
You call it also a sucker?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you give me a sucker? Okay.
So yeah, I mean, like you said, Andy, it was super important to have the orange, luminous on that second stand. We did from previous campaigns. Obviously, all the feedback we get, we know that luminous.
Yeah. Even if I personally think, perhaps I don't need it, but there are a lot of people who think it is necessary. And I could say, okay, I'm the CEO and overruling everybody here, and we do what I do, and that's it. End of the story. I could do that, but that's not how we work. And so we need to go through this exercise, and we need to try to figure out the best way. And and frankly speaking, we also, someone suspected us that we might take over some design from someone else, which we, by the way, are not really known for. That if we put this, how do you call it, Raute, square?
Yeah,
how
the
to,
square
yeah,
or diamond pattern.
yeah, diamond pattern
Yeah.
into the hands, because we have that already. You know, we have it in the Omnium and we have it in the Array.
Yeah.
And there was a sample which nobody knows in our talk also. So that's kind of a signature look for us. It is not the look of some other company which someone just thought. I mean, I have a couple of slides here, you know. They have a lot of different hands, round and whatever, nothing. And so you can't really say that this square thing on the hand in front is owned by someone. That's not the case, and it would never have come to our mind that we just go to somewhere and look at it. It's an element which makes a second hand obviously glow. You can make it round, you can make it squarish, or you can make it like the latest watch of Breitling, I think, as a rectangular thing. Some years ago, we decided to give this squarish thing on part of our watches, and that's what we did.
Yeah.
And so the suggestion now is to go with, you call it the joker, the sucker, or the lollipop. So we can think of it whatever you want. But that's the technical drawing for that, and we should sample that and do that, because I think when we look at the comments and when we look at the average of what has been discussed, then we can see that there is a very clear trend towards please make that thing glow, and perhaps more on the orange side than on the red side. So I think that's the conclusion from our vote. We are not a democracy in itself, but we have a vote in order to get a direction. And I think that is a good suggestion and a good direction.
Yeah, so I'm looking through the comments.
Yeah, you are in the comments because
you know, there's a lot of things coming up here. So you know, there's been the suggestion of both in the forum and the comments here, making the square a little bit smaller. Keep in mind, everybody, that this is a photoshopped image. Yeah, so we've actually photoshopped the hand onto there because we haven't physically had time or been able to put it into production to actually create a sample to put into a watch. So there's so the proportion might just be off a little bit. Also, the orange will also show brighter. So two things: making the luminous section smaller, and people are asking to reduce the amount of orange on the hand. We've looked at those images. Because what we do is we do quick mock-ups in Photoshop or InDesign, and to see how things look, and then we go through the big process of just selecting everything.
Just to get into the discussion here, the size of that square little thing. So that's an Omnium, and that's actually a watch which we have since a long time. And there's another one. So we have a little bit of an experience with shop. Oh, wait, 10 pieces. Where's the array? Here it is. So you see, this is a relatively small one. This square on the front. Do I get some bigger pictures here? Probably there's a red. I don't want to sell your watch now, but it's, by the way, a nice watch. Oh.
Yeah, so just go to the website and you can have a look around at it as well there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a couple of pictures to see what we are talking about. Yes, of course, there will be the question of how big that thing should be. We tend to say it should be bigger than these ones or the Omnium. Yeah. Designers are heavily fighting about the amount of this, or the size of that thing. I have to be honest, and I think yes, it should be in this case. Otherwise, it's not fish, not meat, and it's we can be in that case a little bit more courageous. And I think that size comes out in reality pretty good. And I think that we should go that direction and try it. Yeah, perhaps it gives the whole thing a little bit more, reinforcing the whole idea. Of course, we can endlessly discuss about the size of that square now, but sooner or later we also have to accept that we need to make a decision, otherwise no watch, and we need to also be self-critical when it comes to getting used to some certain look. Watches are a game of proportion, we all know that, but I think overall we are very, very well, and you can now decide about is this a taste question or is it a proportional question. I don't think, to be honest, that's a decision now we have to make. And
because the proportions, I mean, our designers are very good when it comes to proportion. They are probably
that watch,
That's probably the
that
biggest
watch is
discussion
horribly,
ever.
it's a horrible proportioned watch. I don't want it, it's those Photoshop guys.
Yeah, but I was talking to Tsu before we went live to get some more insight on the proportion, the size of that luminous section on the seconds hand, and yeah, she showed me a few different images. I didn't have time to prepare them into the slide yet, so maybe we'll do something in the forum later on. But showing me both the smaller lume insert and a larger one, and the larger one looked better because of the position. It doesn't overlap onto the applique. Yeah, so you can just see it right now when we're at the in the top left corner there, the orange one. It's the luminous sits to the outside of the applique and it doesn't cover it. But when you put a smaller one on to make it proportionally correct on the hand, it will then cover the applique. And so when it goes over each other, it especially at night, it'll look kind of strange. You won't be able to see that. So there's a lot of thought that goes into these proportions that that not even I would consider.
My wife and the secret design team. Huh? Are you still there? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm still there.
Yeah. My wife and the secret design team, actually, they run a WhatsApp group with now more than 3,000 pictures. And these pictures are not pictures from somewhere else. They are actually screenshots of drawings. They make hundreds and hundreds of drawings all the time in order to figure out what's good and what's not good. And I trust them. As I said, I could do again the CEO game and say, hey, I'm the CEO, let's do it like I want to do it. There are a lot of these guys, but at the end of the day, I really trust in them that they finally made the right decisions, and I think they have most of the time always made the right decision in the past. So, yeah, on the other hand, I'm not very happy SKUs. Does anybody know what that is? Stock keeping units? Stock keeping units kill companies. I hate them, And when there's a company having too many SKUs, it's also a sign of poor self-confidence and decision-making inability, to say it brutal. We are good in this company, and the company works fine now because we have been always very careful with variety and always careful with too many stock keeping units, too many versions of something, because it always costs not only toolings, it also costs the company a lot of work. And I mean, we are discussing away anyhow thousands of dollars, just discussing about it, but that's also fun, that's part of the fun. But we should be careful with ending up on having too many different versions of a hand, which at the end of the day also I count very much under the, okay, I'm used to this more than that, and that's why I like it, instead of, okay, if I would have only known that, I probably would have also liked it. That's the problem, framing. I think you call that framing.
Yep. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's a last thing we want to get into is the inventory exercise, because then pricing changes as well. And we already have an incredibly competitive price product on the market. Yeah. When you compare it to what other offerings are on the micro rotor side of things. Yeah. But we also like to provide some new stuff and updates, And we have a really nice update as well to add to when it comes to rotors.
Otherwise, it would be boring. There's nothing to discuss. What else should we do? Going for a swim.
You were saying I sent you something, Andy?
Yeah, you sent some pictures before. Wait, I have a very nice, wait, one thing we need to do now. The choice, the choice,
Oh yeah.
the pink donut or the brown donut. Both of
And this is
them.
and me smashing my head against the keyboard. Yeah.
I love her.
Yeah.
Okay, back to back to my slides here. Wait.
So
Where
maybe
am I? We're here.
so I sent you some pictures, yeah.
Yeah.
Just in our Skype chat before. I don't know if you have those available because I mentioned that I would put them in the forum.
Yeah.
But
I have them here. Wait, I put
there's
them.
been quite a few comments here. People saying,
You
not
mean
the entire
that?
handle. Yes.
There we go.
Here. Yeah.
Let me move you around. Wait a little bit.
Yeah.
I move
You can exterminate me. You can put me up in the
Yeah, hey, we are in the tech thing here. You go to the left and I go to the right top.
There we go.
There.
So,
I love it.
Just so you know, this is how our designers work. So they work with these sort of sketches to get an idea of the proportions and an idea of color, and to get, with a base color, you can get an idea of the feel in heaviness or lightness as well. And so, Andy, jump back there.
Sorry.
To where we were. Yeah.
I needed a slide. Sorry.
Okay. And
no, back.
With these sketches,
I can afford an operator. I'm alone in my TV studio.
Yeah.
It's not that this is CNN or those big guys who have operators. I do that by
Don't
myself.
worry, we probably have more viewers anyway. We don't buy people, buy viewers.
Yeah, I think, of course we are entering a next phase of, does that thing have to be completely orange, or is it good to have it in the front only orange? Both nice.
Yeah, so, when I look at the bottom left one, to me, it looks like, there's orange just at the end of the hand. Yeah, it's not all the way up, but it's just really heavy and pulls it down. It looks like it's a weight,
Face
it's a big
front,
counterweight.
face weighting,
Yeah, and then you can see the one on, where is it here? What's the difference between those two ones there?
This is red. This one is red, and this one is slightly smaller watch, so it might look that this one is smaller, but no, it's not. Mm-hmm. It's just, you see, the scaling is a little bit smaller. That's why it seems to be smaller.
I have a very small screen.
I would really recommend everybody that we go with this thing. Orange.
Sorry?
I would really recommend most of the people probably that we go with this orange with a luminous square.
Well, first there's the luminous aspect, so that's super important.
Discussion. That's a discussion we don't need to have anymore. Yeah.
So trying to figure out how to apply it that looks good without it, because before it just looked like a really bad powder.
That is no option anyhow.
Yeah, so that's one way to fill it in and make it look presentable, and it's already a design cue that's used in Array and on Omnium. It's what we've done.
It's ours.
And we learned in this that with the red, it just is a bit heavier. If you look at the one on the left, it looks like.
And to be honest, I worry that we run into another problem here at the tip where you would just have this change of print, that there's probably some irregularity or whatever, who knows. Because the other ones are completely, I'm not sure if they printed or sprayed. Need to check. This was the red versus the thing, but I think, what did we write up there? We need to go back to that slide in the beginning. So, what is the plan now? The plan is to offer for the ones who badly want to have the red straight as it is, like we have it in the samples. That's a real shot. why we, oh, you know, just want to make sure that Arthur is also, is he there?
Arthur's here, yeah.
Yeah,
Arthur's
okay,
here.
you watch. I set the timer. We are halfway through. Okay, good.
Yeah, and he's gonna come see us in August. So
Vodka.
we're looking forward to yeah, probably be some vodka, and we're looking forward to the visit. And anybody that's in here and wants to come visit us, please come visit us.
Yeah.
Everybody's more than welcome. So, anyways, Andy, back to the hands here as we were
Yeah.
pleasantly interrupted by the amazing alarm clock. The Rotor, is that what it's called?
Rüteberg. Roterberg, the highest mountain, the lowest mountain in Switzerland.
Lowest, yeah.
Okay, we have that also straightened out.
Sorry for the interruption, guys.
I mean, I was originally against having 2 SKUs and trying to force a decision into one direction. But reality is, we have paid for a tool already with the tool maker, which is a straight hand. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, we all know that we can't make that straight hand glow as we want it. So we need to apply one of our design styles from which we already have into other watches onto that movement. That means we need to open a new tooling. And when we do that, then we at least have, then we have 2 tools, and we have 2 SKUs, and we should really try to limit this to 2, and that's why the decision currently is red straight without the glowing thing, and orange with the Superluminova square in the front, as you see it there. And I think everybody can make a decision based on that. And I would really wish that we limit it to these 2 different things. Or I just do it.
I think there was a comment up there that was getting me laughing here. Hold on a sec. There's a lot of comments here today, Andy. Like a lot.
Shall I go into the YouTube comment section too, so that I can read it? I mean, via the internet. Isn't that the internet here?
Yeah. It says, Philip Corwin says, Orage is more a benevolent dictatorship. A dictatorship for good.
Yeah, good.
That was a top comment.
That's the fun of this whole thing. It's so much fun doing that. I love it. I love that. And probably we need more controversial designs, topics that we have more to discuss.
Yeah, well, I've seen a glimpse of the future. I think there'll be some.
I know my wife will be not very happy about that.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't say something for a couple of days, she's just looking in her phone, reading all these comments, it's like glued to the phone. I think I need to check her screen time. It's getting bad.
It's probably record breaking. I think there's more screen time than there are hours in the day, maybe. Yeah. But,
we are live, yeah.
Maybe on the hand side of things, Andy, maybe we can look at the red one, because you actually have the physical sample of the red there,
I think
and we can let people have a look there.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, I trust you. No worries. Square it is. Looks good. How many comments are we have now here? Richard,
I don't know.
First try was a circle.
I don't want to get you off track here, Andy.
What? Yeah, I mean, 4 screens, 3 cameras,
I know,
lots of light, and
I'm watching it here on this side.
I mean,
but I think people want to see a watch, then
yeah.
I will.
Shall we do a watch? Okay, I have watches also. It's
Okay.
not that we don't have them. Isn't that a nice shot? Oh, wait, I'm coming in here.
Oh, we want that new hand color though.
That one.
It's the older one, yeah.
Yeah, I have only the red now here. Yeah, the other stuff is traveling somewhere around the world.
Yeah, so this is the black with the.
Shit,
You might just need to tilt it. There you go. There you are. So this is the black with the red hands there.
Yeah.
and it's covering the day-night indicator hands right now. This is where the minute hand is, as you can
Yeah.
idea with the seconds. Do you have another one there, Andy, with the
No,
red?
no.
No?
They're all traveling somewhere.
Okay. Can you adjust the minute hand on that watch, on
No.
the black one, so we can? Okay.
To be honest, I am not allowed because Jonas told me that the watch shouldn't be
Yeah.
wound because they were running a test of power reserve test, and then they said some dirt somewhere here, and they said please don't adjust the watches. We need to have them without being touched. I mean, you know, but they work. Don't worry. It looks good, yeah. I mean, at the moment, yeah, no, currently, I mean, there shouldn't be a problem for anybody. Now we have, indeed, a good solution for the ones who want to have it a little bit more subtle. They can go red, and they do not worry about, because they don't dive all the time in the dark. So they won't die immediately. And the ones who want to see the watch ticking during night because they don't sleep, they can get the orange one with the Superluminova. And I think then everybody has something for himself. And since we have these tools, I think that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, so as Andy was saying earlier, yeah, we can't line the watches and work with this one just yet because we're doing on wrist checks. So what the engineers do is they wear the watch around and then they see how long it takes to wind up, and then obviously how long the power reserve lasts, and we mark down the times when things start and when they end. So
yeah, shall we move a little bit further?
Yeah, we need to move along.
Wearing
Celine's pushing us, right? I see she's.
Yeah. She's
when
she's
Celine gets
angry
in here,
because we talk too much stuff. We talk too
we
much
ramble.
bullshit.
So sorry guys, we're rambling, but when I see Celine hop in here,
Yeah, then it's time to move on.
Let's get
Okay, so I think
let's get to this rotor.
just final thing, yeah. This is a very good trade-off now where everybody can live with it, I think, and we should definitely go into these two directions, and everybody forgive us that sometimes democracy has limits. You know, when it comes to too high SKU rates, it has a limit for me, and that's why we need to make us a decision. And I'm happy to continue discuss offline.
Yeah. I'm already thinking about our memes for the next episode.
Okay. Yeah. What else? Yeah.
Rotor.
You know,
Platinum.
I mean, give me a break. It's platinum time.
I don't know how many dictators have given platinum to their people, but this is a pretty nice upgrade.
Yeah, that's a pretty nice upgrade, and I think we had a big discussion about cost. You know, I mean, I think pretty much people can have an idea that we are operating somewhere in between cost of goods times 3 or 4, so somewhere in between, probably a little bit less on the expensive stuff. So digesting all of that by ourselves is not okay, I think, and I think everybody is okay. It's not money which kills you, which breaks the bank, but it helps us cover the cost, and it is another second SKU, you know, which I don't like. But I have to accept it, that's definitely a fair point, and performance advantage due to a slightly more heavy platinum material compared to tungsten will be marginal. I mean, I have to say that out of the gate, if there's something we can see a little bit better, it's okay. But we have to test probably a couple of 50s to get an average. You know, statistics is living from the sample volumes, from the sample rate. So how much samples do you take? Currently made just some tests, and the most important thing is for sure it will not be less good as tungsten. Gold went out of the choice because gold cannot. If you do gold, you have to do it actually in as pure as possible way. Then it's soft like butter, and we don't want butter in our movements because they they probably create other problems in there. So it's too soft a material. Yeah, why is Why is platinum so much more expensive to treat, for example, than gold? And because platinum has this kind of cubic structure. You know, the guy from the supplier explained to me, by the way, one of the best technicians I know. And he explained to us very carefully that, especially when you cut platinum, these kind of cubics, you don't cut these metric structures of these atoms. You don't cut the crystal apart. So they are bending around while cutting, and then they actually, these sharp edges are kind of getting squeezed into the cutting blade, and this destroys actually cutters. So you need to go very carefully. You need to go with very good cutters on your mill in order to process that material. That's why we said it's kind of a little bit chewy then, yeah. And
chewy, yeah.
Yeah. So it's definitely extraordinarily expensive material to work with. It's less costly on the spot price, yeah. But this is done away easily by all the work we have to put into that, and also by by handling everything. So same expensive and difficult to handle with gold. You need to, for the loss of the material, you need to refine it. You can't just melt it down. Refining costs money. So that's because, you know, it's not just punching it out. So you are on the mill, and when the mill actually is cutting the platinum away to make a rotor out of it, you are actually getting contamination from the cutting oil, and that's why you need to bring it back to the refinery. You can't just melt it down like very often you do it with gold before you mill it. So that makes it extra expensive. And we...
Also the purity of it, just how much more of material is in there.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff in there. We had some contact with this material between 2016 2018. So I got once such a bar in my hand, you know, and this stuff is really heavy. Yeah. I mean, it's like, whoa.
First time I came to visit.
Yeah, a brick.
I was like, all right, this is pretty cool. I mean, it was not just like a little bar. It was
a bar.
How long it was crazy.
Yeah.
But it's really interesting, and I think the part that I liked a lot about this is the theoretical angle, and how that's changed as we go. With platinum, it being 31 degrees, and with tungsten is 36 degrees. So you need
the break angle thing. We had some serious discussion on how to translate this in Chinese.
Yeah.
Okay, we didn't have the physics guys in the house right now, so I think
because most people are sitting at a desk, and you need to have, you know, just very small, or I guess you could say minute wrist movement to initiate the rotor swing and begin the rebuilding process. So I think
a little bit.
Platinum will perform pretty well in that regard.
Hallmarking, of course. Now there was that discussion about some people want to keep the gold look on the rotor. I personally like that silver very much more, because it breaks a little bit with the rest of the gold look, makes it a little bit more technical. And and the hallmarking, of course, is an important part, I think, so for people to also see that that's platinum. Mm-hmm. And when you do that, you cannot gold plate it, because otherwise government says, don't do that. So it must be pure.
And what do they do, Andy, when
they come with a machine gun?
But yeah, no, it has to be purity, and usually, as I understand, the manufacturers will put more platinum into the actual part than the 95%, just to make sure that in any testing that it's passing, correct?
What I was just reading a comment.
All right,
you know, men are not made for multitasking. I hear that all too often, and I think every male can confirm that, and every wife and woman will also confirm that.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. No, what I was saying is that usually manufacturers, they put a bit more platinum in than just 95%, just to make sure.
Otherwise, so if you are below, then they cut it apart, you know.
Yeah.
And you get jailed.
Yeah, and you start again.
Additionally, that's the dictator thing, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a cheer, applause to the girls making that happen and fighting with suppliers to get things done. But I think it's yeah, it caters very well to that watch, and for the ones who invest into this extra 390 Swiss francs, I think it's worth every cent. Because at the end of the day, if you need money, cut that watch apart and sell the platinum to
So
a guy.
there's a question in here. Would the platinum rotor offset the center of gravity on the movement of the watch?
What?
Would it offset the center of balance of the movement?
This extra weight?
Yeah, it's
No.
negligible. Yeah.
No.
So yeah, I mean, this comment section is
Yes,
pretty great.
Arthur, I agree. That's such a nice movement. The platinum elevates the design so much. Machining is superb. 390 is fair, very fair. I'm in. I agree. Everybody should be in. It was a good decision, and it comes out very nice as a color, and it works very well with the rest of this black and the gold. And yeah, if you want to have it a little bit more gold, then the tungsten is still available, and there's no problem on that side. And
I was talking to Cole at Houdinki, and he said the baller factor is way higher on the platinum. So it's Cole saying that it's pretty cool.
Okay, yeah. Thanks, PT. Looks great. Actually, shall I move on with our slides here? I guess, huh? I just for comparison, I still have dug out one of. I don't find a lot of stuff recently because the guys are taking apart and putting back watches all the time. And wait, let me bring in here and that. So just that we have a little bit of a reality check here.
Oh, look at that rotor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they have the tungsten one on the left, on top of that.
Yeah. It's gold on gold. That's not a good thing. Let me use my shaky watchmaking fingers here.
Yeah, you and I weren't made to be watchmakers.
Yeah. So, both pretty good stuff. Yep. Nothing to complain at all. So, I think that's an easy discussion here. Yeah, I'm happy that we have both of them. It's good.
Yeah, and it wasn't just like, oh, we're just gonna, today we just decided to do platinum. It's been 4 months. I think, of developing and making that additional movement, or not movement, additional rotor, because there's a lot of things that go into that. And yeah, it's really great to see how much people appreciate it and are happy to see that arrive in it. And honestly, you have the choice. You can go for the tungsten or the original or the platinum.
And tungsten, by the way, also not so easy to machine. And also not so easy in supply chain right now, because a lot of tungsten comes from basically from Asia, from China, and with COVID and all this kind of problems we have in our world, there is also that is kind of a problem. But having both choices is for sure good. In that case, SKU accepted from CEO point of view.
Yeah, definitely. So a few people are asking here in the comments how do they do the upgrade. So when we do the second pre-order round, I'll have it as an option in the shop that you can then order it, and you just put in your original invoice number for your Supersede, and we'll match that to the order. And yeah, and then you'll get platinum when your watch is ready to ship. So
good.
That's there. So what else do we want to do? Let us know in the comments, everybody, if there's something else you wanted to go back on, you want to see something else.
Yeah. We can always move around. We are now 50 minutes in. Let me switch here in my cockpit to guest vertical. Next slide. Yeah.
Next time I need to get a different light.
You're a little bit yellowish.
Yeah,
you're a little bit yellowish.
I
think I got a sunburn.
I forgot to put in one of the studio lights in here. So
okay.
I'll do that next time. So I'm yellow today.
Let's make that a little bit bigger. I think it's too small. Right word. So like that. Move you down here.
So
Good.
as we were just talking about with the pre-order, so the
Yeah.
next price is at 5,500 Swiss francs. So that includes your VAT, duty, shipping's all included. There's no additional cost when you receive the watch. Platinum upgrade, 390 Swiss francs. And we're, as we were discussing, we're currently planning with the orange lollipop as standard for this next pre-order. And the price, you pay the full price, it'll be including one of the rubber straps. So we have the blue, gray, black, purple, and red FKM rubber straps to choose from. And we'll also have the split payment option as well. And that split payment option, we just forego having the strap included into it. So we're planning a few events coming up. Eric over in California is going to do a meetup in Los Angeles. So if you're in the Los Angeles area, you want to see the watches, definitely send us a note, lostintime@arage.com. If you go to our concierge page on the website, you can just email us directly from there, and we'll put you on the list, and you can go and see some watches, and we'll release a time, and you'll get a private invitation for that, just for security reasons, to be invited to the event. Concierge event in Taipei. It's also happening at end of July.
Moved out since I don't know how many months. I think it's moved out the fourth time now because of Corona panic in Asia. You know, we all had it already now. The Taiwanese get it, and China is still into kind of a zero COVID mode. So that probably will take another year until probably things normalize. I don't know. But because we sent the wine to Taiwan for wine testing along that concierge event in Taipei. It's not only about watches; it's also about getting drunken. Swiss wine, by the way.
And I would say enjoying some adult beverages. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm a little bit blunt,
Yeah.
And we want to do more live broadcasts, obviously, because we have fun doing that. And it's good to have all this discussion going on here. Can you show the white dial and gray dial in the same video, same light sometime soon? Yes, for sure. When watches come back, I only have white here, and I have gray not in the case, so it wouldn't really make any sense to look at it like this.
Good job, Andy. We almost got through that list before one of the comments.
Yeah. So where to view James Porter? Yeah, we're working together with a new partner. Is that right?
James.
Do I need to continue? Yeah, I guess. Huh?
Yeah. We'll just wrap this up. So
James Porter is in Glasgow. I still think back to the time when I was a student, didn't understand anything of that language called Glaswegian. But I love it. It's a great place, great people, and it's an established watch retailer, and they started a new business, additionally more on the independent side, and that's where we are. And hopefully we can go there soon. Limited edition UK, always good. I think the guy is doing a good job. They're actually selling around the world, I mean, he's I guess 24/7 online kind of with the camera and helping people to find good watches. That's pretty good. And Watch Wonderland in Singapore. Singapore, Sugi. I think is back to Sugi is back to normal. And we are working on more locations, and one of them is Biel here in my cave. Also, you can come and see where that new CNN subsidiary is. And probably will extend it to BBC. I need more cameras, I told you.
Yeah, we'll get more cameras, and we're actually working on a real studio space coming up too, right?
Yeah.
So
real studio space.
That'll be pretty exciting. So we'll have more space, more place for people to come in and visit. Right now, Andy's sort of in a glass cube. I'm in the cube, and I have to switch off the air conditioning, otherwise you have all that noise all the time. And next slide, we need to move on, otherwise Celine is getting angry. So last, touring update. We are getting into the final flow.
there is something in there shouldn't be in there.
Oh, oh yeah, I was it's copy paste exercise. That's
I
nice.
will do that here quickly.
Yeah, I
So
did, I was in the
gone is it?
workshop.
Out of a sudden it's gone.
Yeah, great. It's out of the, yeah, I was in the workshop 2 weeks ago and I made this photo and those were the last movements to be
Yeah,
assembled. So they're finished now. Everything I think is done. That needs to go
I
to
didn't
Kosk, is at
see that.
Kosk.
Yeah,
And final assembly is done and yeah, we'll
yeah.
finally get
I
it
think
shipped.
everybody is super happy when the watches are out, because it was a long stretch. It was a gigantic project for us. From zero to more than 200 tourbillons is, I think, world record Guinness book. You call that thing?
Mhm.
We should actually apply for that. And yeah, it put stress on everybody, but it was worth it because everybody went above and beyond, doing all he can. But sometimes, we are not always in charge of all our fate and can control everything. And that's why we bought a couple of machines. We have been talking about that also. And it's not only about machines, but it's also about partnerships. I can play that movie in here.
Yeah, yeah. There's no
So,
sound on it, but
yeah, it's no sound. It's actually Ryan, thanks to Ryan, by the way, good guy from Paluzzo, a partner company. That's my nephew, Lorenz. He's now in barbecuing in Tegernsee, I just saw in WhatsApp. So, doing the big beef thing. And they are actually working already on new parts, K2, the stuff which goes into
K2s.
Supersede. Shall I show you something?
Yes, please.
I can show you that. Wait.
So that's what was a good thing, is that we had this delay anyways from Tourbillon 1, but it enabled us to create 3 backups in respect to machining. And we have our own machines. We're also working with Paluzzo, and we're also working at one other location to machine parts. So we're ahead, much more ahead in the development and production. Somebody was asking in the comments. We see here what they say projected shipping date for first round orders as of now. We're still planning in December.
Yeah.
To
I mean, since everything is Kosk, we have to also follow timelines. Yeah. We are preparing everything. So there's a couple of plates here, a little bit too thick for these parts, but we are also victim of supply chain issues. That should be much thinner. We are doing it from pretty fat material. You have to machine it off. But sometimes you have to sacrifice a little bit of material. So these are actually K2 parts here. Machined on a KF machine, 5-axis, one shot. And the 2 guys are doing the job, the youngsters. Both 21 years, I think. Someone last time said we have so many young people, I'm this gray hair, old stuff. But honestly, power to the youth, power to the young people. They should do that stuff. I mean, that's the fun of it, and they are doing a great job. And it's difficult. Yeah, we are chasing microns, but the only thing we can do is give them the responsibility. Yeah, and sometimes they fuck some things up. Yeah, okay, everybody is doing that. We are humans, and it's important that they learn something from that. So
but taking ownership of these projects and running it,
by themselves,
They learn by themselves and they correct things. I mean, Lawrence is doing an incredibly good
last
job. Just
time
like how
crazy was
Sylvan did with the Tourbillon project.
Yeah. But I mean, this time it was really hard with the new machine, the Hasegawa. We have to say that one of the suppliers who put the automation on top of that didn't really do a good job, and everything was not aligned in the axis, and then you need to figure that out. And then the young boys were there, and they probably thought, they probably are not educated enough and experienced enough. And what did they do? Yeah, they built a high precision gauge, and then we have it in black on white that the supplier obviously didn't put the stuff in the right axis, and it was misaligned by big time. And they figured that out by themselves. in the evening, going to the wire cutter, making a jig, high precision, measuring all that stuff, putting the numbers in, and now we have it black and white. So anyhow, the whole delay thing was basically, I will bring back that you see, it's not just that, you see.
So that is the bridge that says Raj on it right there.
Obviously, you know which bridge that is now. So, yeah, so we have a couple of them already. Still some fine tuning needed, but we are very confident that our new partnership will deliver and give us enough capacity for the future to grow. And we are thankful for this partnership because it's also fun, It's fun to work with people like this who really want to get things going and want to get involved into the movement making exercise. And therefore,
that facility is super amazing. Sorry, Andy.
Yeah, I mean, we make a
some
life.
of the other things that are being produced in there. It's phenomenal, and in the micron level that we can get down to is impressive.
It's our level. Yeah, that's where we want to be, in the microns. And we this was necessary besides our existing partnerships to extend that. And of course we are too small for double sourcing, but at the end of the day it's important that if things go wrong, if a machine breaks down, that happened in the past, that we start to work in a smart way with partnerships, having more backup problems. Or is my pig? No, there's just too much of it. Okay, just was distracted by a comment. And flat parts is CNC machining. So we have our Hasegawa. We will have additional capacity on GF machines. Turning parts, we have ordered 2 turning machines, which will come in not in time for K2, but that's not the problem. But on the long run, we want to make sure that we have also here capabilities to do hard stuff by ourselves, namely Citizen machines is what we bought. By accident, we figured out there was a gear cutting machine, a Vali, a machine we know. It's a little bit of a used machine, so we need to figure out how to operate that thing, but there's a lot of gear cutting going on in our movement, so we want to actually also understand that know-how by ourselves, that manufacturing techniques, how to build tools. It's a jig making thing. And we ordered a decoration machine in order to do the Côte de Genève by ourselves. Brings us to, are we a manufacturer now? Kind of thing?
Yeah, industrial.
Industrial, okay, yeah. I'm not the fingernail watchmaker,
Yeah, I mean, if you want things to be...
Yeah, I mean, the biggest problem, the whole decoration thing, I have to say that now. We are buying machines which are making parts in the microns. And then we tend to decorate them so that they do not keep the tolerances anymore. And that's the industry, I mean, decoration, all very nice, but reality is decoration destroys the precision of the parts. So we need to really work on that and really figure out how do we keep our precision level in order to easily get our precision level and easily pass COSC while having nice looking movement parts. But that's a reality, I mean, gear cutting, you decorate a wheel like in the tourbillon, and then afterwards you will have a burr where it shouldn't be. Then someone's sitting there with a hand, and brushing off the burr. Is that really watchmaking as we want to have it? No. That's why we need to get into manufacturing, and that's why we need to figure out ways of improving these processes, making things precise, making them look nice, don't sacrifice precision. That's the job. And you can only do it when you control that stuff by yourself. Next slide, huh?
Yeah. So also when I was in Biel, I think it's getting to the next slide here, we had a chance to go and talk to Simon.
Yeah, Simon, Zeitzentrum, Grenchen, watchmaking school.
Yeah.
Very important for our future. Everybody in our company learned watchmaking in the Zeitzentrum.
I made a mistake here, Andy. I
Yeah.
said this is donations from Supersede $1. It's actually donations from Tourbillon $1.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But
Yes.
since
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
here in the cockpit, I can change that.
You can quickly edit that and erase it. But yeah, so going back to last August, we did the Tourbillon $1 and we did a fundraiser and we gave some watches to people that had donated. And those donations are going to a school, which is just down the road from us in Grenchen, yeah. And we went in there 2 weeks ago, Andy and I, and we got a tour of the school. It's very impressive. I mean, there's 35 watchmakers that attend a year in this amazing facility with tons of equipment and really one-on-one. They're not sitting there reading books. They're really getting hands-on. And they're building everything, building tools, assembling watches, and making their own projects. And it was fascinating for me to see that. I was blown away by it. So I was lucky to snap some photos of Andy and Simon going through some of the tools that we were.
That's
that
one
they were
of the
able to
tools on the
purchase.
table. One of the tools on the table they're shown here. What Simon is doing is a tool to measure the press fit of the hand on the tube, because that's something you need to do. You do training, but industrial manufacturing also requires a feeling for where you are. Is this the right amount of press fit, which usually would be the standard on a 2.8, 2.4, 2.8 and 2, a K1 or a K2 or whatever? Because falling off hands is a big issue in service, believe it or not, but a lot of hands fall off because the press fit was not correctly determined, and just a little bit of hand feeling is not enough to get the micronewton meters on your fingertips. So that's a tool which helps a lot, and some other pressing equipment and Renferrings, and so I think the 10,000 Swiss francs made a difference in the school, and that's important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, they're small things, but these things are all very expensive. Seems that the smaller these things get, the more expensive they are. And it's a start of, I think we talked about some other things we can do to help the school in future times, and we're excited to continue to help them in any way that we can.
Yeah. Good.
So,
we are pretty much through that. I see
last
there's
slide?
some heated discussion here between my
There's a lot
wife.
of,
Between my
and
wife
you're
and
now allowed to read the comments.
I'm allowed to read that.
You're allowed to read the comments now.
I recommend everybody to relax. That's the most important thing. Huh?
We're having fun.
I mean, we are trying to figure out. Everybody needs to get used to. I mean, humans in general don't like to change. We all know that. Everybody's like that, and when we get used to some sort of thing, we very often deeply believe that that's the way it should be. After a while, and I learned that from watch design. One of our designers who is in there for a long time, she always says, make that design, then put it back in the drawer, forget about it, look at it when you have forgotten about it again, and figure out if it's still good or if there's something wrong with it. It's dangerous with this amount of digitization. Easily you can get lost in all kind of details, and out of a sudden this ends up in a distraction, and you can't make decisions anymore. And very often you probably also go for too much photoshopped. Stuff works on Photoshop sometimes, but it doesn't work so well in reality. So that's why we also going down the route of more YouTube and things like this, to figure out what is the reality feeling on a camera instead of just a screenshot. That's the difference.
What good designers have is this ability to transition from the digital space to the physical space in their minds, and understand exactly how that's going to look in physical reality. Whereas I still struggle with that. I've been with designers, whether it's in clothing or cycling or bags and not watches. That
Yeah.
there are very few that have that ability to really be able to see what the finished product is going to look like in metal and have the confidence to go for it and make the hard
You know,
choices.
this is sometimes it's not too bad to see a design university from inside when you want to be in that business.
Yeah.
It's and then we saw it in this one design project we had. Then it takes another couple of 10, 20 years. And watch design is a very specific thing. That's one design vertical, like car industry, bicycle industry, watch industry. These are very different design verticals, and they need very specific know-how and a good combination of several people. It's never the only this one designer who can get things right. There's always a team involved, and there's a struggle, and it goes back and forth all the time. So I
Funny comment here. We had to buy the watch based on Photoshop, so it has to work to some degree. It does work to some degree, but also it's also challenging sometimes to put out some of these designs in this work in progress, and because there are so many of them that our designers go through. I mean, as Andy was saying before, there's a back catalog of images that go back and forth,
yeah,
and
thousands,
weeding those down,
thousands,
deciding which ones to
24/7.
share, it can be super overwhelming. Yeah,
That's why not everybody is in there.
those are some nice looking watches. I mean,
No, they are bad,
maybe it's a
bad
biased
stuff.
opinion.
Don't buy it. Don't buy that.
Yeah,
No, it's pretty good. Yeah, I have to say it's pretty good. I'm very satisfied. I think
Mhm.
it puts us once more on the map of watchmaking, and yeah, it was until now a journey with obstacles to get over. But I think that's what the reality of this business looks like. Since all we get pretty much what they like, there should be no arguments. This is more customization than you can get from a big manufacturer and better value, so that should be appreciated. Thank you. Can I type something? I can type
you
something.
you can type. Yeah, like the saying goes, there's no accounting for taste. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, if we look at the spec sheet of Supersede, I mean, this mic rotor, the watch coming in 9.85 millimeters, out of 4L stainless steel, power reserve indicator, calendar, day-night indicator, be able to jumping GMT hand or traveling hand. It's pretty impressive what everybody's pulled off. But it's been years of development. The movement's been already 5 years of development. The watch has been now over 2 years of design with the case and dial and all those aspects. So yeah, huge amounts of thought and effort have gone into this. And to my knowledge, I haven't been able to find a watch in the market. Somebody, if you do find something, let me know. But that can reach 200 meters, 9.85 millimeters GMT in the market at anywhere close to the price and the materials that play in the watch. So yeah, let me know if you find something. I'd be interested to see what you guys dig up.
Okay, wait, I need to comment one
You still
thing.
typing here, Andy?
Yeah, I'm typing. I'm typing.
All right, I was trying to fill that space there. All right.
Yeah, here. Yeah, we're feeling very well. So thanks, Philip Corey. I'm typing now
That's
from
you.
that account. It's
Yeah.
me. I have been typing that. We also thought if we should give the final call to the designer Thomas Funder, but this would have perhaps led to
Yeah.
to some more discussion. And yeah, and so no, I think it's the right way. We made a call, and we have two choices, and now everybody should settle a little bit for that, and let's make sure that we get into the gear and produce watches, and who knows what's happening in the next couple of weeks and months.
There's a question a little bit further back I wanted to talk about. It's not on Supersede, but
Yeah.
somebody had asked if we would open up the order possibility for Tourbillon 1 again. Yeah. It's limited to 260 pieces. We don't have
We
any,
don't have
and,
anything.
and so they've all shipped. There's
Nothing to
nothing
sell.
So they're all gone. So they are now a very real rarity. But we have some.
Not even I got one.
Actually,
I mean, I'm the boss of the company. I didn't even get that. So I need to look at your wrist. Okay, I can
but
do
I
that.
appreciate it.
And my wife's wrist.
Yes.
Yeah, the Frankenstein. Yeah, but we will for sure come up
Yeah, we have
with
to do something fun with Tourbillons again. And
a lot of designs are cooking all the time. Besides in the background, there's a background noise, and yeah, I think we are, from what I can see, especially in the past 12 to 24 months, our team has really stepped up the game in all aspects of their ability to crank out very, very advanced and well thought through designs. So both from engineering point of view and from design and structural parts point of view. So I'm 100% sure that we will offer more exciting stuff to come in the next 12 months. And it will continue as exciting as that, I'm 100% sure. My personal dream is bring down delivery time. That's what I want to do. That's why I stay out of the design decision at the end of the day. Because first of all, I fight with my wife, which I don't want to, Second, they are the experts and they should decide about that. And then we have the community who help make these decisions. And my job is to try to get manufacturing arranged in a strategic way, which allows us to present a pre-order, do the sales exercise, get into production, and don't let people wait too long, because I understand. I mean, I'm amazed by the amount of trust people put into us, and the only thing we can really do is try not to disappoint, and communicate, and show the people where are the hard parts, and sometimes we hit a wall, sometimes we hit a problem. And together we obviously can solve that.
And based on our trajectory and where we want to go with watchmaking, is that there will always be some wait time before delivery. We just want to, otherwise we run into this huge inventory problem.
Yeah, because we don't. Yeah, I don't want SKUs and I don't want stock. I sunk a company already because of that. We shouldn't do that again. I know how to shut down companies. I don't like that. It's, founding companies, everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. That's cool stuff. Yes, but if you shut down the companies because you didn't make it to the finish line,
and inventory is
pain in the ass.
Inventory is the ultimate
then you find out.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the ultimate killer, and we should be super careful with it. And also, everybody who supports us should be aware that that's a risky exercise for a small company, and we must do everything to stay healthy as a company, because only then we can make cool stuff. And a Tourbillon away keeps
Tourbillon,
the venture capitalist away.
Venture capitalist.
Nothing against venture capitalists, because we are our own venture capitalists. But that's our running joke. I've written too many 3-year business plans in my life, knowing that they never come true.
But everything at the Raj is going really well. And we've got this great community that keeps growing.
Yeah, we are doing
fine.
And
we've got some other projects in the work behind the scenes that we'll be able to share more on in future times. But
But now we need to get the samples going, the next samples for those hands, to make sure that everybody is happy. And we need to make sure that manufacturing, actually it's starting already. We are already in full manufacturing mode for everything which is 100% sure. DC is not so bad. Arthur, I said that for you,
Arthur and I had a conversation once before.
Okay.
I mentioned that.
So much fun. Okay, I think we need to wrap it up.
a lot. So I think we covered everything. Obviously, forum is still there, so let us know more comments there. And you can leave comments here on YouTube as well. But let us know in the forum. Sue had mentioned already. I saw that in the next week we'll have these renders with all the dial colors enhanced. We're also doing photo shooting, so professional studio shooting. I'm not at that caliber for photography, but this stuff is takes a lot of time. So it's in the studio right now. We'll have all the dial colors with all the strap options, bracelet options to show prior to the next pre-order round. We'll update the website with all the images, and everybody will have a very clear picture of where things are going. So thank you everybody for the patience on this project.
And the intense discussions.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it's meant to be fun. And I know that people get really passionate and might get a bit, I guess, maybe perturbed would be the word, on some of the things. But
yeah, yesterday you told me it's getting emotional.
Yeah, it's getting emotional.
Said, yeah, that's good. It's getting emotional. Why not?
I received a lot of nice emails as well, too, and that obviously people don't see in comments. And yeah, it's really good to have this communication, because at the end of the day, it helps us get a guidance, a compass, roadmap as to where we should go with the company and these projects, and to see if, are these types of discussions important. And I think they're incredibly important, because at the end of the day, this is a hobby and people like to talk about stuff.
And I tell you, most of the companies just don't ask their community, because they don't know them. They have no channel. They probably once in a while see them on a trade show or in a luxury event somewhere, but they have no real access. And luckily,
the good thing is we don't have any middle management. So I think that's the savior for that.
Yeah, flat. Hierarchy is completely flat. Okay, then what is our exit move here? Rest area is super advanced and perfect.
I apologize. Oh yeah, we got a little look at a couple comments here before we go, and then we'll say bye-bye. Yeah.
So there's a tiny ifness. I feel Supersede is incomplete without moving the power to 6 o'clock like your signature. And
moving the power reserve to 6 o'clock. Yeah, not possible.
That's not possible.
These things are baked into
Sadly.
the movement.
Impossible.
Certain things that cannot be moved in the movement, and if it was like something quartz or electronic,
power reserve can only be in this area, because it needs to interact with the barrel, and when you turn it around, you can only do it in this section, top 12 towards 9. That's
okay.
We are back to orange strap.
Yeah.
Maybe in version 2. Version 2, no, it's an architecture question. So power reserve indicator definitely in this movement, without putting a sandwich on top, with a lot of transfer wheels going through all the way around. Making it thicker, adding friction, all kind of stuff you don't want to have. Cannot be done without making it really thick and a lot of parts, and we shouldn't do that.
Okay, so
let's
wrap it up here, Andy. So thank you, everybody. It was a lot of fun. We'll catch you in the forum, and somewhere around mid-August we'll be doing the pre-order again,
and broadcast or stop streaming, doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
And broadcast.
But anyways, you want to say bye, Andy, before you hit those buttons?
2 buttons here. Okay, goodbye, and see you soon.